Hearthstone podcast brought to you weekly. Hey guys, and welcome to Around the Hearth. How you guys doing today? I know we missed a week, but you know it's still going good.
Good. Well, I'm doing good. I'm Evil Squirrel. As your favorite introduction right there was ET Dubs, and our favorite Brit coming right out of Brexit over there to the far right is Bobson, whatever you want to call him. He likes it as long as it's not Irish.
Okay. I like Irish.
All right then.
I'm becoming Irish.
So you're going to start things off, as usual, that week in Hearthstone. So I guess I can start off. I didn't do much. I played Hearth Tavern Brawl two separate times, and that's all I did this week. And both times I got 8 wins, and I couldn't make it past there, so I suck. Yeah.
That's a solid average. Almost breaking even.
Wasn't legendary, so I'm real sad.
I mean, technically, we do have 2 weeks in Hearthstone to talk about, and I believe Squirrel did something of note.
That's true. So I went from Dad Legends to Legends for the second time. Much changes all around. I did the push. I got all the way down to rank 2 with my mid-range hunter, and then I made the final push with Taunt Warrior. I was just receiving so much aggro that I figured the good way to counter it would be with some Taunt Warrior. Did pretty well.
Taunt City.
And it worked out real well for me. And yeah, so it was a nice time. This month, though, I've just kind of been taking it easy and just kind of enjoying the meta, playing new decks. I'm trying to get my 500 wins with Paladin, so a little bit of Murloc Paladin here and there. I might try the mid-range variant that we talked about in the last episode.
So much fun.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
So yeah, but definitely a good week. In Hearthstone, it's been quiet. I did just get a dog. We adopted a dog on Friday, so there's been a lot of commotion going on. So it's been a little quiet on my Hearthstone scene, but I'm looking forward to picking it up this weekend and getting back into it.
That's good.
What about you, Bob?
Since the last failed Tempton episode, I've basically just been playing Wild, first in preparation for the Heroic Wall, but then I didn't actually end up giving it a shot until Sunday, where I gave it 3 separate attempts. I gave it one with Control Shaman, went 5. Had an incredibly bad run with the Breeze deck I'm going to talk about later, because I got very, very unlucky with my matchups and got 4. And then tried Control Shaman again and got 10. And I got a Golden Deathwing Dragon Lord.
Control Shaman is so good. You might be a little biased about today's episode, but yeah, it's good.
I want to say that I feel like I've just been playing Wild pretty much exclusively for the past week. I gotta say, I think the Wild Brawls, at least for now, pretty much had the desired effect in getting people interested in playing. I've seen so much more new shit happening on the Wild ladder,
and the possibility of it getting top 64.
Yeah, you can see quite a lot of streamers who've never touched Wild are all playing Wild now. Like Kibler's been playing Wild, he's been playing Wild. They're all doing it, and I've started seeing some pretty weird stuff. I've to notice that Wild Pirate Warrior has now become a mid-range deck. It's become more of Tempo Warrior now, with Death's Bite, Grom, Boom, Loatheb.
Wow.
Not just.
I remember though.
Back then,
Loatheb was groundbreaking.
Well, the first time I saw Grom come out of a pirate warrior, I was like, "Whoa, man, what?" And then the next 3 or 4 all played him. I was like, apparently this is the new thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure when that happened, but the wild meta is doing some interesting stuff, even if it is still it's a lot of control shamans, which I like.
I guess the Grom is now in charge.
Grom's firing the cannons. Grom is firing those cannons.
All right.
Yeah.
Squirrel, did you play any of the Heroic Tavern Brawl?
I had every intention of playing, and I was going to do it over the weekend. And I was like, I need to play because I'm going to need to talk about it on the podcast. And I never got around to it.
That's okay.
I've been so busy with work and with the dog, so I did not.
For me, it felt like the original Heroic Tavern Brawl. It was just shaman. It was a different type of shaman. It was just control shaman the whole time for me.
Yeah,
every match.
I watched the first day, and I watched Zaviz, and he got the 12 wins really quickly with that control shaman, and then then he started another run with it, and his first match was a mirror of his deck, and I was like, "Yep, it's gonna be like this."
Yeah, it was fun. Control mirrors are always fun, but it's very.
Yeah, see, this was my thought when I went in with my priest deck, because the priest deck destroys that control shaman deck or other variants of it just completely, and then I got tempo mages. Literally the worst matchup the deck has, which I didn't see at any other point during the other 2 runs.
Yeah, I played Freeze Mage too. It was fun. Some decks
if it had been Freeze Mage, it would have been fine.
Like I played Pirate Warrior 3 times, and they just couldn't kill me. Like I had 2 ice blocks, and I was just like, do it. Try and pop.
I don't know if you. I with Control Shaman, I beat a Pirate Warrior through pure desperation of hexing my own totem and playing double Ancestral Spirit on it.
Oh my gosh. Hey, whatever it takes
and
to win.
He couldn't kill me until I drew Healing Wave. And I was like,
Yeah, whatever it takes to win.
It was the most beautiful victory I'd ever experienced. So, there's been some. Speaking of tavern brawls, today they put out an announcement about what this week's tavern brawl is going to be, and it's going to be every single Clown Fiesta RNG Fest tavern brawl, all in one.
Oh,
have you guys actually seen this?
I saw something on Facebook about it, but nothing actually like no research.
It's going to be one of those ones which is just, it's going to be great for doing your quests, just for fucking around.
But it's going to be doing it actually is it's the 100th Tavern Brawl since.
So it's like a celebration of all the Tavern Brawls. So what it's going to be is when you queue into Tavern Brawl, you're going to get one of 9 Tavern Brawls, as in your deck's going to be it is the Raven Idol Brawl, the Random Cost Brawl, the Banana Brawl, where if one of your minions dies, you get a banana. The Yogg-Saron Tryouts, where if you play a minion, it casts a spell. The Portal one, the one where you get like 6 legendaries and you get 4 copies of each with the card that reduces the cost of them.
Right.
The 30 spells, where each one costs summons a minion of that cost. The Unstable Portal one, or the Shift Azeris one.
So is it like you'll verse someone and they might have a completely different Tavern Brawl than you?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So it sounds like it's going to be hilarious, and there's going to be some great highlight reel shit. Obviously, it's going to be just stupid. Like, probably quite good for getting like quests like play class cards done, because you're just going to play so much crap.
No.
It's not one for playing very seriously, but then again, is Tavern Brawl ever really for playing seriously?
No.
I'm looking forward to just memeing.
That's okay. Last time we had a random Tavern Brawl, I played a babbling book and power blasted my face. So it's fun.
You know, what would be awesome is if they included the defeat Stormwind one, and like your opponent was just stuck being Stormwind.
They can't do anything. That'd be funny. All right.
I want to be a Stormwind. I want that ridiculous weapon.
I want infinite health. That sounds fun. So actually, also, Blizzard finally had to release the loot rates for all their games and stuff in China, and it pretty much confirmed the pity timer. And they said, I don't know if I agree. They said 1 in every 20 packs should include a legendary,
No, they said 1 in 20 is the average. 1 in 40 is the maximum.
I'm saying a bit average still. Like I've never gotten average of 20. It's always either been like 2 packs or 40 packs. It's never, for me at least.
Yeah, but I mean, 2 packs and 40 packs does average out to 1 in 20.
I guess, yeah.
Averages.
We're going to change the name to ZT Mathmaster.
Yeah.
No, it's ZT Scrubs.
Yeah, ZT Scrubs this week. Yeah.
I
do agree with it says 1 in 5 is for epics. I think it's about right. Yeah. And then the one I agree with the most is that every pack gets a rare. So far I've opened a few hundred packs and I've gotten a rare every time, so I think that's about accurate.
I believe that.
I'm playing.
Okay.
Like
I'm just playing.
Yeah. No, I believe they said the old thought was the pity timer for an epic is 10. So it averaging to 5 makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And same thing with legendary pity timer being 40 and average being 20. They did specify, that every pack that you open of a particular set, your chances of getting said epic or legendary increases. The odds increase until you get one, and then it resets. So it's all but confirmed. Everything we thought. There's no new information in there. So
yeah, but it's nice to have all the shit that we were kind of running on speculation just confirmed.
Absolutely.
Although they didn't say that there is a pity timer for golden legendaries, did they?
I think I think golden cards are completely random. I don't think there's any odds on that. Let's go ahead and talk about DreamHack Austin, or should I say DreamHack Tempo Storm, because they were just wrecking at that tournament. Was it top 16? They had 4, I think, 4 members of Tempo Storm up there.
Yeah, four members. It was Trump and the Noodle and Eloise and Dog.
I was really hoping for a Trump versus Reynad finals, but dreams don't come true.
With that. Yeah, Eloise was the only one to go out in the round of 16, and then Dog got knocked out by I believe Shoop in the round of 8.
Yeah, and
then Shoop knocked out the Noodle in the round of 4, and then he beat who was the guy that he played? Having a lapse. Something with cards or something. But
he didn't win, so he's not memorable.
He didn't win. He's just a loser.
He didn't win, and he's not in Tempo Storm.
There was a lot of controversy though about the everyone's just been hating on the Swiss into single elimination. Like Dog was undefeated, and he lost 1 match. And he was out of the tournament. But I still, that's how it goes. But I still think that's a pretty, shitty situation. You do so well and you lose 1 match and then you're out. Compared to everyone else, they can lose a few.
I agree, and I do think that there's room to make a double elimination. But maybe round of 16 could go single elimination, double elimination, round of 8 up. Yeah. But I don't know, or just do top 8 double elimination. But yeah, that was pretty shitty to see him go out like that. He played so well, and it was good. It's just good to see people like Trump back on top, and even Reynad. Even though I don't really care for him, It's just interesting to see the people that have made a name for Hearthstone. Maybe climbing back up to the top. There was a lot of big names up there.
DreamHack's very tough tournament.
And both the winner and the runner-up from last year both made it up. So there were a lot of big names that did really good, and then there were a lot of big names that were just had the 7-2 record, but just didn't lost the tiebreakers. There were a lot of big names in there too. So it was a very good fun weekend of Hearthstone watching. So I enjoyed it. And congrats to Shoop for his victory.
I'm gutted I completely missed this.
I was super busy this weekend. I was just trying to catch it as much as I could. All right, so
got it.
So we can talk about the meta now. You guys want to talk about a little bit of Wild, a little bit of Standard, or because
we don't have a meta snapshot for Wild yet, do we?
Yeah, they actually they put one up for after the Heroic Tavern Brawl and on. So last week they updated it, and it seems about accurate. So we have, as always, we have the King Reno Lock. Number 1 is how it should be. Number 2 is Pirate Warrior. 3 is Control Shaman. 4 is Reno Mage. That's all tier 1. Tier 2, we have Egg Druid, Secret Mage, Aggro Shaman, Reno N'Zoth Priest, Control Warrior, and Inner Fire Priest. So
Reno N'Zoth Priest. Yeah. Freaking love that.
Let's see if this runs a quest. I don't see why I wouldn't if it's in a N'Zoth deck.
Oh yeah, it does. I mean, if you're going to run Death Rattles...
It doesn't. It actually doesn't run the quest. It's strange. You think
Madness.
Because if it's a N'Zoth deck, easy to summon.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Even late game, N'Zoth brings back all those. That's something. I don't know. Who knows? I'll definitely be running it if I play this deck ever. I'm running the quest.
You should try my deck list. It is wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds about accurate.
I'll speak some more about the lane.
I don't think any deck in Wild will ever be better than Reno Lock. Just because Wild
Reno Lock
is really good.
Just hit some crazy levels now.
Yeah.
It's so fucking hard to beat.
It's crazy to see Pirate Warrior tier 1. I feel like that deck's not going anywhere either because it's Wild. It's even better in Wild.
I heard that the Reno Lock has some slight improvements now where they added in the quest and some discard to it.
No, that was your dream last night.
I hate to break it to you, but I don't see any quests here.
the Reno Lock now just
it did add Tarlurker.
N'Zoth is standard. Yeah, they run Tar Creeper, Tarlurker. They've got all the good wild shit. They normally run Belcher, Shredder, Boom, N'Zoth. They run Jiraxes. There's just so much.
Looks like they're running a 1-up Humongous Razor Leaf as well for the taunt value.
The what?
Humongous Razor Leaf, the 4/8 that can't attack.
3 mana, 4/8.
Who the fuck made this deck? I have not encountered that in any single game that I've played against Arena Lock.
I've definitely played against quite a few. Even the standard Reno Locks definitely run it because it's
standard. I think makes more sense.
Yeah.
But there's just so much competition for deck slots in Wild.
Well, yeah, I think. If you defender it, it's a 5/9 with taunt. That's really good.
I also don't think the combo is particularly prevalent in Wild either.
Yeah, this list at least runs the combo, but apparently, if you're in a control heavy or aggro heavy thing, you swap it out for more control-ish cards.
There's absolutely no need for burst in the current Wild meta. It's either aggro or other super heavy control decks like Control Shaman, in which case getting the N'Zoth and Death Rattles is way better.
Yeah.
There's never any position where you're going to just be able to hit them in the face for 20.
Yeah. I hate to say it.
And the combo is just so unreliable now because of Dirty Rat. Dirty Rat changed that deck so
Yeah.
much.
It's
You know,
so good.
having cards pulled out of your hand, it was just a mechanic that never existed, and so you could just hold on to your combo until you were ready. But
I mean, in like Gadgets and Matter, I think the only reason that it ever ran the combo was just Jade Druid.
Yeah.
Jade Druid's not a thing in Wild, so I don't think it needs the combo. It just needs to outvalue people. Like, it just needs to outvalue possibly 3 White Eyes. And Jiraxis and off is how you do that.
All right, so let's go ahead and just look at the standard meta as well. Give it a little peek here. So it's very similar to last episode. Not much changed in the past 2 weeks. Actually, Pirate Warrior went from 1 down to 2. Mid-range Paladin is now number 1. Aggro Paladin is number 3.
Woo!
Aggro Druid is number 4. It's cool to see Aggro Druid, top tiers pretty much for both. Quest Rogue is still sitting at a 5. Hasn't really budged anywhere. Tier 2, we have Taunt Warrior, Miracle Rogue, Control Mage, Freeze Mage, Jade Druid. Jade Druid's moving up. He was at the bottom of Tier 2 last time we looked at it. We got N'Zoth Paladin, Purified Priest, Mid-Range Hunter, Dragon Priest, and Control Priest. Jade Druid's slowly moving up. I feel like in a few weeks it's going to be almost Tier 1. Because that deck is good.
The lists are like gradually getting more refined. Like they're running like Primordial Drakes, Tar Creepers, that kind of stuff now. They're getting gradually better at beating aggro decks.
I played against a Jade Druid who used Hemet. And then he basically got Jade Idol in his hand. And then he Hemeted his deck.
Oh, I see. So you can play again.
The lunatic.
And then the only cards he had in
beautiful.
his deck were Jade Idols. Yeah. It was crazy. Like he was just nourishing and just doing card draw. So he drew like 7 Jade Idols. It was ridiculous. And he threw down Auctioneer.
Have you guys played any Control Mage? It's the new fad from DreamHack. It's a lot of people are calling it Control Mage. A lot of people are calling it Discover Mage. You pretty much run the Discover package, what they're calling it. You got the what are they called? The things that you can discover from 3 classes.
Like the Cabal Couriers.
Yeah, Cabal Couriers. You got the Primordial Glyphs. You got the I don't know. You got like just a bunch of stuff discovering. So pretty much, you're just adapting to your situation, whatever you need.
Primordial Glyph, Babbling Book. Yeah, that like Mage is kind of the class which isn't like the most confusing place, I think.
But
it's got
every time
so
something
many
happens, it's fun.
Different,
fun and different.
But it's got so many like different things which are ever so slightly different to each other. I always lose track of what exactly each mage is or does.
I don't know. Meteor is ridiculous. It's good, but it's just ridiculous. Like every time someone does it, I feel like 15 damage is just so much damage. Like half the time they're killing someone with 5 health. I'm just like, yep, a little bit of overkill.
It's really weird how this meta has made Pyroblast a thing. Like every mage deck now runs Pyroblast. Yeah. When has that ever?
It's always interesting to see how certain cards in certain metas just perform better, and that's why I love this game. Because of Pyroblast is now a thing, and it was like a year ago. And then you have and it's been said 1,000 times, but you have Stone Tusk Boars, running in tier 1 decks. It's just,
oh my god, that just reminded me. In one of my games, in the Wild Brawl, somebody actually brought they brought a deck which contained the Stone Tusk Boar Dino-Size combo.
Oh my gosh!
This was like 4 wins. I mean, when they're down, the board stayed is insurmountable for them. They've got like 2 cards left, and I'm just like, what the fuck are those last 2 cards? And then looking at the decks, the cards they played for us, like I've got absolutely no idea.
It's a big
And
ass
they play
board.
board. Then they play board dino size. I'm like, wow.
So it's a fun surprise.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's what I love. I did have a great game playing. I was Freeze Mage versus the Secret Mage, and we were going back and forth. And I swore I had him. I just needed one more Fireball, which was like my last card, and he was out of he had 1 card left, and he Cabal Couriered into a Kazakus,
Oh man.
and then he could play the Kazakus, and he Kazakist for armor and something, and I lost. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, that Discover Mage, when RNG is on your side, it's a fantastic deck. But when an RNG is not on your side, it's just a bunch of.
It's a sad experience.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kazakus and RNG not being on your side, in my 10-win brawl, the final match was like one of those 25-minute games, Control Shaman versus Reno Quest Priest.
Oh my gosh.
It just went on, and the way it lost was Kazakus Potion, 3 demons, Voidwalker into Mal'Ganis.
Wow.
In fatigue, my last minion's Ragnaros, and it just doesn't hit him.
Yeah.
Gets out of like 4 turns fatigue, and ends up stealing Ragnaros with Sylvanas.
Oh man.
That's awesome. That sucks.
It was
That's wild.
like-
Yeah.
So yeah. So really, the wrap up for the meta, I would say, is that we're over a month into the expansion. Actually, I think we're exactly a month in now. Or a little over a month today, and it's still fresh. It's still evolving, and that's pretty awesome.
especially wild.
Especially wild. It's great. So cheers to Blizzard for doing a great job. And speaking of which, one other thing we did miss was the 70 million player giveaway. So if you haven't logged on in the past few days, log on to get
packs.
3 free packs on all of your accounts.
That was a fun surprise. I just logged on. I was like, oh.
It's actually 51 million players and 19 million people who made their own friend to get Morgul the Oracle.
I did that. I became my own friend and played with myself. Yeah.
I sure
I
did.
still need to do that on my other accounts.
Well, there you go, 70 million and one.
Right.
Okay, let's move on now to the
decks of the week.
And guess what, everyone? For all you waiting for Evil Squirrel's deck of the week, here it is. I don't have one. Boo.
That's okay. I actually picked a deck out for you. That. So.
What deck is it, Nubs?
You really want to know?
I want to know.
Actually, let me find it. It's up here. Oh, it's not want to load for me.
Well, here's some good dead air for you.
Oh my gosh, I had it disappeared. Oh, here it is. Standard Aggro Druid. Because I know you guys loved when I talked about Egg Druid and Wild.
Standard Aggro Druid. Okay. Well, for the people listening at home, and I have played this deck quite a bit, so I can talk about it. Standard Aggro Druid is basically get a bunch of little guys out and make them big and go boom. So you're playing things like
way to describe it.
You're playing things like Firefly, Firefly and the elemental that gives you more fireflies. You just want to get a lot of stuff out on the board real fast. You want to keep board control, and then you have the Jade card that gives all your guys 1/1. You have your Powers of the Wild that give all your guys +1/+1. And you can just turn a bunch of little dudes into a bunch of nasty, nasty mofos really, really fast.
And I'd like to make an announcement. I'd like to apologize to Living Mana for saying how terrible it was, because it proved me wrong.
Yeah, yeah, the living mana. I really thought it was going to be a terrible card, and it's really just when you think you've been able to wipe their board, and you think they got nothing left, they're holding one card in their hand. Boom, they got 7/2/2s. That next turn, if they draw well, or they might have the Lotus or Power Wild in their hand, that they're making 3/3s. You have to
Innovate
start,
Savage
I mean,
Roar.
this
yeah,
deck curves
Savage.
out. I mean, this deck runs out of gas really quick, and then you play a couple cards,
Boom.
and now you have like nothing else to
Yeah.
play. Bam, live mana, fill your board, and
Yeah,
salvage or you win.
it's a really, really good deck. I actually, one of my local players gets very high legend just about every month, and he's been focusing on aggro druid, and he just decimates people with that deck. So shout out to Tyrone if you're listening. He,
Arrow.
he's a really, really good, really solid player, and he's mastered that deck, and it just get stuff out, make it big, trade, go face.
Yeah.
Do you know what feels really good when you're playing against aggro druid? Devolve. Oh god, it feels good.
I've been devolved
Like,
after I played living mana, and I cried for a while.
Not even like you don't even need to do it on living mana. Just they fill the board with 1-drops. They buff their things. They play Mark the Lotus. They play Power of the Wild.
Yeah.
Devolve. Everything becomes a wisp. Maelstrom Portal. They concede. Turn 3.
It's happened more than once.
Yeah.
It just feels so good. And then obviously they play living mana directly after, and then you play Lightning Storm. I like playing against aggro druid.
Yes, it is definitely fun to play against, and every match is fun. I think that it's an interesting variant on aggro that can definitely smash your face in three. I think turn 3, the game's over.
Yeah.
But you can have some really, really, really fun games with it. So everyone, I suggest giving it a try. It is, I believe, the number 3 in tier 1 right now. So give it a try. That's my on-the-spot summary.
All right. So
Nice.
Let's move on to Reno Wild Quest Priest. It's a lot of words for a deck.
That's a lot of things. Yeah, the deck on my game it's called literally everything. Like I had this idea kind of a week or so before this was going to be the deck that I was talking about last week before we hit some unexpected technical difficulties.
Sorry about that.
I was like, it's all good. And like I was just like, what would happen if you put basically everything in one wild deck? And this deck is kind of the almost refined list. Like this is the list I put together, and then when Kibler put together a list for his heroic rule run, like the lists were kind of 3 cards different. So I was like, yes, I can build priest decks. And well, there are some. Let's go through the kind of cards in the deck. Obviously, like it's a Reno Quest Priest, so it has all the things you'd expect from that. You've got the Priest Quest, you've got Raza for those free hero powers, you've got Kazakus, and you've got Reno. Then there's you've got like all of the early game death rattles just to try and not die against Pirate Warrior, because Priest's main weakness is their lack of early game AoE, which is kind of what fucks this deck, especially against Tempo Mage. Like not being able to clear the board before turn 6 is just devastating sometimes. Which is what. So it's got Mistress of Mixers and Zombie Chow. It's got the Crystalline Oracle for some freebies. It's got Museum Curator, Deathlord, Belcher. It has an unstable ghoul because Pirates hate that card. I just
Yeah.
Pirates really fucking hate that card. It's great. Like, it's a small AoE. It's got the Potion of Madness, everything. It also has Stonehill Defender, which is
so good.
it's the most recent addition to the deck. It's still kind of on a probationary period. Like, it hasn't, like, it's just a shit taunt, which provides generally another shit taunt, or occasionally a Belcher or a Deathlord. It replaced Greater Healing Potion, which was kind of too slow, but also maybe not. So that one's still a work in progress. It's got the anti-control combo, which is just Elise and Shadow Visions, because that just gives you such insane value in the long game. Then, it's got your standard priest stuff: Entomb, Dragonfire, Light Bomb, Nova, Cleric, Sylvanas, Zoth. Boom. This is a deck which will go on for an obscene amount of time.
It's hard to kill this deck.
Like, this deck doesn't lose to control decks ever. Its only issue is dying before turn 6. If it gets to turn 6, you probably win.
Yeah, Light Bomb is such a good card. I love that card so much.
Like, it's like, for a priest deck, this does actually do moderately well against Reno Lock, surprisingly. It's just a matter of who does better with the Kazaka's Potion and the AoE and stuff. Like, sometimes you steal their Jaraxxus, and then you become a 40 health Jaraxxus.
I actually saw someone pull, I know we talked about this forever ago. Someone pulled off the Major Domo 40 health thing. I was like, good for them.
It was really annoying. During my priest run against a Reno Lock, I had Jaraxxus in my hand, and I had Amara in my hand. But I didn't get to the point where I could actually do it before the game ended. Which, like, I think at one point I had to play Amara just to not die, which just felt really sad. I ended up not playing Jaraxxus the entire game, because if I had done, I would have lost. But so my recommendation is, if you want to play a wild deck, and you are playing against a lot of control shamans, the deck which Dubs is about to talk about, play this deck, entomb their white eyes, and you will win every game.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll move on to the king of the Heroic Tavern Brawl last week. We got here Control Shaman. So this deck has changed a lot, and there's been a lot of variants of Control Shaman. This is kind of the one that, since Angora, has kind of drifted to. So we have Ancestral Knowledge, Ancestral Spirit, Devolve, Maelstrom Portal, Reincarnate, Farsight, Healing Wave, Hex, Lightning Storm, Barnes, Earth Elemental, Sludge Belcher, Volcano, which is so good. This card is so good.
I love Volcano.
Yeah, Volcano is so good that it actually made it so where it took 4 cards out of the deck. Took out 2 Elemental Destructions and 2 Lava Shocks, because you just don't need them. It just kills everything.
And Halaziel.
Yeah, and Halaziel. This card is so good. All right, anyways, we got White Eyes, Sylvanas, Kel'Thuzad, Sneasel Shredder, and Azoth. So pretty much the gist of the deck is reincarnate a bunch of stuff or Ancestral Spirit it, and then if you can make it to the late game, which you almost always will, throw down Azoth and bring back a whole bunch of Death Rattle stuff. I was telling them earlier, I was able to bring back 3 Sneeds from Azoth, and it was awesome.
Beautiful. Yeah, there have been quite a few different variants of the whole control, like VOPS and Savage both use the same kind of list, which is very similar to this one, but I believe what's become the general consensus is that reincarnates generally are too greedy Like,
Yeah.
but, I believe normally the reincarnates go for lightning bolts because that card is just too good.
I think
Uh,
for this list, for the reincarnate, it's more against aggro. You trade your guy into something, kill it, reincarnate it, get the death rattle effect for free, and you get your taunt back up to full health. I think that's the main reason, like, thing for this deck at least. And you get an extra death rattle take off in his off. Yeah.
Also, well, I, I ran a slightly different version of the BOPS list, which also runs Thing from Below, which is, I think, one of probably the best anti-aggro card in this deck.
Yeah.
Because if you can get a just 0 mana Thing from Below or like 2 mana Ancestral Spirit, they're sad. They're very, very sad. But I'm just comparing the list and trying to figure out what the differences are.
Big difference is Kel'Thuzad.
Yeah, there's no Kel'Thuzad.
Kel'Thuzad and Sylvanas. Those are two that I see that are being changed. And Reincarnate. Everything else is like, you get rid of Sneeds, Kel'Thuzad, and Sylvanas. The rest is that's the typical.
Everyone's running Sneeds now.
Oh, really?
Like,
it's good. It's really good.
You remember a few weeks ago when I was talking about this was pre-Angoro, my like wild Zoth Shaman. I actually got a comment on my Hearthstone deck saying Sneeds is terrible, but otherwise looks good. And now everyone's playing it.
I mean, there's a lot of good legendaries in Wild.
Yeah, like I crafted Sneeds or Shredder just for Control Shaman because it was the one of the first cards when I saw it. I was like, "Whoa, man, that's so insanely good!" Like, when you're a new player, it's like, "Oh my god, a random legendary!"
Oh no, there's been a few times where I got the Nat Pagel that your opponent draws cards. So that's always fun. And my luck, it happens every time. So he's like, got one. And I'm like, no, put it back in their deck. Like, no. But,
I saw it was the most beautiful thing. Savage was playing against a like Murloc spam paladin in the Tavern Brawl, and what he ended up doing was after they played anything can happen. That's the one. They got a bunch of, because they played like Valfin Inquisitor and stuff, so it just summoned kind of a bunch of hero power Murlocs. Devolve that just was the entire board was, I think, kind of just target dummies and Nat Pagel. So he was just like, I'm not gonna play anything anymore, and he just let Nat Pagel mill this guy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's like that guy feels so bad right now.
This guy's like, I have become a meme.
He was probably just like, "Hello, YouTube. How good to see you."
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's time to wrap things up.
There was one. I'll tell you about my accidental tech choice when it came to my Control Shaman.
Oh, what was it?
So obviously, like, Barnes is basically a staple in this deck.
Oh yeah.
And like, often people don't. Well, the list that's floating about, people do not run Sylvanas. They do run Barnes. I just built the deck just off the top of my head when I remembered it, locked it in, got into the first match, and then was like, I drew Sylvanas. Wait, what? That's not supposed to be there. Shit. Then I spent the entire first game going, what the fuck did I cut?
Did you
So it turns out I forgot to put Barnes in.
Oh.
And I put in Sylvanas instead of Barnes. But that was the run I did considerably better with, so I'm sticking with it. Because it actually makes the deck It makes it much stronger in the mirror. Because like the way you play the mirror is you hex White Eyes and you hex Needs, and then you win. But now if you have a third big thing that they want to hex, then suddenly they're like, shit.
That's where double devolve comes into play.
But this is you save like Sylvanas till after they've played both devolves because they're not expecting the third thing.
Yeah.
That's generally what I do. I'm like they play both devolve, they play both hex, and you're just like, Sylvanas, Ancestral Spirit, hi.
Yeah.
I guess you have no time for games.
All right. So we still haven't gotten any emails. So we got to give this spiel until people give us emails. Please send us an email at aroundthehearthpodcast@gmail.com. We will read it, and we will, I don't know, we'll be happy. It'll make us happy, so please make us happy. Yeah. And also, as always, we have a Patreon account. Anything that you want to do to help support the show, help, just make stuff run smoother, better equipment, all that stuff. You can check us out. All that'll be in the show notes as well.
Got some cool rewards.
Yeah, you get to play with me. What gets better than that? And you get to play with Squirrel. And you get to play with Bob, son.
I mean, you could play with ZT Scrubs, or you could play with one of the legend players.
Or you can play with the legend player. Anyways, yeah. So give us your money,
or
please.
you can even come onto the, show, talk some shit with us. There's a wide variety of different things. So there's always the decks that we've spoken about this week, mine and Dub's decks, and whatever the hell Squirrel was talking about will be on our Facebook page and on our Twitter, both of which are at Around the Hearth. Facebook.com/Around the Hearth, Twitter /Around the Hearth, everything /Around the Hearth.
And they will also be in the show notes on iTunes. You can find us on iTunes at Around the Hearth. And we'd love for you guys to leave us a review. 5 stars. We will read your name and your review on the air. And even if it has craziness in it, I will still read it, and I will still say everything that you want me to say, as long as it's 5 stars, because we need more reviews so that people out there can find us and hear this awesome content that we're trying to bring to you. And it would just be greatly appreciated, because you are what makes this podcast great.
That's right. All right. Well,
make Hearthstone great again.
Yes.
All right. Well, that guys. Well, we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.